Okay, he said we're rolling.
Great. So I have can you give me your name and your title?
Yes, my name is Investigator David Gletty, and I'm a former FBI operative for the FBI.
Meet the David Glettys, the one in the suit, now licensed to become a private investigator and carried a concealed weapon, which he might need, because the other David Gletty on the left infiltrated a group of sometimes violent neo-Nazis for the FBI, playing a role, he says, and by all accounts, playing it well.
I'm David Gletty for the Florida Sundog.
Nazi. David Gletty feels at home.
My job for the FBI as a civilian operative / investigator was to infiltrate any criminal group that I was told to, whether it be extremist groups, racist groups, anti-government militias, whatever they assigned me to, I took that assignment.
Swastika burning was not his cup of tea, but
when you're given an assignment, you can't pick and choose assignments. You take whatever assignment they give you, you smile, and you say thank you.
How did you go about doing this?
Well, in the beginning, when you're given an assignment, I found the internet was the best place to start. Say if I was going to infiltrate anti-government militias, I go to the internet, I check out their websites, I learn as much as I need to know about some of these groups. Then you go to any local area that you believe these people are training in, and you become one of the locals. You get to where you're being seen in public, grocery stores, meetings, local meetings, picnics, anything you can do. You want to be seen. Then slowly people approach you, you meet people, and then bam, the magic moment comes when you meet a person of interest.
I was assigned to the White Power movement. Nazi, skinhead, Klan.
assigned by the FBI, which confirms it used him extensively for years in other cases, but infiltrating this group was different.
How hard do you think it was for this federal agent to get into the tower?
From what I know, to get in as deep as he did, for them to have federal search warrants and arrest warrants, this guy had to be in there for a while, and he had, of course, risk his life and take steps that your ordinary people do not take to get in with these suspects. He had to work hard to get in there. It wasn't something that came easy. I can guarantee that.
Working as an undercover FBI operative is dangerous, and sometimes you could end up like me here in the hospital, injured 2 months after being exposed in the Orlando Sentinel newspaper. Okay, this is Investigator David Gletty, still hot on the trail of these anti-government militia, and here we meet up with some people tonight. You know, 7 younger people. They're not terrorists or anti-government militia. They're tree huggers, what you might call eco-terrorists, but nothing to be concerned about.
How do you earn to cross in a situation like that?
It's something that the regular public does not understand. I cover it in my latest book about how you have to think like a criminal. When you go hunting, you have to think like an animal if you want to come back successful. So you have to role play. And it's not yourself. You're a regular, decent, law-abiding person that loves your country and you serve your country. You're asked to step outside of your ordinary self and think like these people. The old saying, when in Rome, do as the Romans do. Well, you have to be in their world to infiltrate these people and ultimately get arrested.
I was coming out of the store after paying for gas. 2 niggers tried robbing me with broken bottles. They couldn't afford knives or whatever, so they had broken bottles. So as I'm coming out, they're like, man, give me your money, everything will be all right. Well, Kevin sees what's going on, so he gives me the signal like I'm coming, move.
Here we are taking a break across the river and getting back up on the trail. This morning's been a little slow. I haven't seen much evidence of any of the people we're chasing in front of us, but we have to stick with it. You see how narrow the trail is down in the valley. Here up on top we're taking lunch. Information has it that they're going to stay at these radio towers tonight, so we'll bed down there tonight also and finish our conversation with them. Here we are. Finally, we found some candy bars, some empty tuna fish wrappers, candy wrappers, a cigarette. So we're behind these guys. We're getting closer. I don't know how close. We can't see them yet, but we're getting there. It's important to keep track of these people that might be anti-government militia.
You mentioned it was dangerous. Why do you think it was so dangerous for this agent to infiltrate the way he did?
The reason it was so dangerous for this FBI agent or operative to infiltrate this particular group, because these guys, you can see that, as you know now, some of the plans they have in place, they will kill you if they ever found out that you are a government rat or spy or an agent. These guys are serious about that, what they want to do, and they will let nothing get in their way, whether it be a human life or money or weapons. They will get what they need to accomplish the assignment.
Sometimes you suffer from the consequences of your dangerous work. Here I am in a hospital bed after having major neck surgery, after being ran over by a truck on my bicycle and breaking my neck. Here I am trying to see if it all works. Finally, we make it to the radio tower. No sign of the people we're after. I'm a little concerned, but there's nothing I can do. We picked up a dog. This dog can sniff out ammunition, gunpowder, weapons. Here we are, Joe's tent, Fred's tent, sitting by the fire. I'm laying on a tarp in my sleeping bag wrapped up, and it is cold.
Right now it's about 2:30 in the morning. Skies are pretty beat.
Well, next morning, we didn't freeze to death. I'm posing for a picture up on top of the mountain. Here's a local drop spot where you can drive up and drop off any supplies. We meet up with law enforcement. They tell us the people we're chasing are only 15 minutes in front of us. They give us a next informational package, and we're heading on.
Why do you think there are so many more of these groups these days?
There are so many more of these groups coming to fruition now because for the last 16 years, these groups really believe that the imperialistic government is finally showing its ugly head. These guys can stand up on stage, hold the King James version of the Bible up and preach from it and manipulate its words to the weak-minded persons out there and convince you that you are supposed to do this bidding for the Lord, Jesus Christ. And they pick on the weak-minded persons to join their group. And now they really feel that the government is the enemy. And unfortunately, there are going to be many more of these groups coming out into the open. They've always been there. They've just been waiting for their moment. And they truly believe this is the moment, the end of times, right now.
Here's Joe. He's wiping the sweat from his glasses. We've been working hard, but we don't seem to be catching up with the people we're after. But information has it that the home of the people we're chasing is down here in this valley beside the road there. There it is. We're supposed to be catching them at the next shelter tonight. And here they are. Finally, we catch the guys we've been after for days. There's the leader there on the left, the older guy, but they are not to be taken lightly. We're going to follow them, try to get as much information as possible, and pass it on to law enforcement at our next checkpoint.
Do you think there's a link between, some of the rhetoric that you hear from conservative politicians and some of the actions of these people?
I believe there is a link between some of the actions of our government officials that do work for us and the direct actions of these groups that we see happening now. They really believe, of course, there are a lot of good congressmen, senators out there, public servants, but just like any group in America, it's the bad ones that all the lights shine on. And these groups, it's really driving them nuts. I can speak as first-hand knowledge because I was paid by the government to infiltrate these groups, to live with them, to train with them, and I know how they think, and they're very upset. I'm not being sympathetic to them. Do not get me wrong. They deserve to go to prison if they're doing wrongdoing. But to them, they have no other choice. They feel like their back is against the wall. The government's not working for them, and unfortunately, they want to take extreme measures to get their point across. They don't care if they die. They want to die in a blaze of glory. Going down the way they did in a federal raid is disheartening to these guys. Like I said, they want to be heroes to their people.
We confirmed Gletty's dealings with the FBI by reading federal court records, contacting former white supremacist associates, and reading news and police accounts from Jacksonville to Alabama. And everything he told us has checked out, Bob. Gletty's work for the FBI would emerge in federal court a year later after he helped the FBI arrest 2 former associates for using firearms to rob drug dealers.
Right here, I'm sick on the morphine that I'm on. I'm going to stand up. It seems that everything's working. Right now, the only thing that's on my mind is once I get out of this hospital is getting healed and tracking down the person that did this to me. I know it has to be somebody or some group that I infiltrated in the past for the FBI. But I'm going to get well right here. I feel sick to my stomach again. I'm going to go for a little walk and see what happens.
What's the FBI saying about this today?
Well, really, on the record, they will not say much, except it did not initiate, organize, or sponsor the Orlando neo-Nazi march.
Interesting perspective, one we rarely hear.
Yep.
Tony, thank you.
Thank you very much for doing this. You've been great.
Did I get everything you wanted, or